Getting right into today's video, we're going to be starting off by removing my client's current design. She actually has clear acrylic underneath, so all we're going to be having to do for today's video is remove that topical design that we created with gel paint. So I'm going to go ahead and start off that process by using my e-file at a speed of 11,000 RPMs. Along with that, I'm using the Typhoon bit from Not Polish. So I've been obsessed with this bit. It works really well and it does its job very effectively. So definitely recommend this one if you guys are looking for a good bit. Otherwise, the 5-in-1 bits have always been my go-to as well. I'm just going to go ahead and very carefully remove that design. I do not want to remove layers of that acrylic, so I am using light pressure on this. So a quick little update, if you guys missed my last video where I did Brittany's nails, I did mention her possible allergic reaction to some of the products that I've been using. I actually found the solution to her allergic reaction. We changed out her primer that we were using and the monomer to Kiara Sky, and we no longer have a reaction. So I'm very excited to continue to be doing her nails using acrylic. Until further notice, we will be updating you guys just in case she does get a reaction to that as well. But as of right now, so far so good. We don't have any issues at all. She didn't have any flare-ups, any itching, any puffiness at all with her last set, which is the one that she's wearing right now. I did go ahead and remove some lifting that she had. It was very minimal, barely even there type of lifting. And I did that using the same bit that I used to remove her gel polish design because I wanted to do it effectively and very quickly. Now I'm actually taking this diamond bit from Profiles Backstage, and I'm going to be taking that, and while I'm using this, I'm also pushing back the cuticles just to expose a little bit more of her natural nail. This is going to effectively remove any extra dead skin that I may have missed earlier. Again, my e-file is always at 4,000 RPMs when I'm doing any type of prep on the natural nail or cuticle area, so always make sure you guys have very light pressure on your handpiece and a very low speed to keep it all safe. I'm going to be taking my cuticle bob bit from Profiles Backstage. This is my go-to recently, and I'm going to be going in and just buffing off any excess dead skin from her cuticle area. This kind of prevents you having to go in and nip or cut anything off. Just my personal preference. I am doing it very lightly, still at 4,000 RPMs. I do not want to irritate her skin at all, so I'm going to be going in with very little pressure. I know there's still a lot of dead skin left in that area, but I'm okay because I do not want to irritate that skin as I've mentioned. I'm quickly priming her natural nail with the acrylic primer from Kiara Sky. This is the one that we switched to. It has a thicker consistency than a regular primer does, which is kind of weird to me, but it works. And I've mentioned it before how awkward it is whenever you first open it. However, it does its job. It works really good. I do feel like my clients have had way less lifting than they have in the past. So definitely recommend this primer, and of course it helped with her allergic reaction, so I would definitely recommend it in that aspect as well. I'm just going to be adding a very small amount near her cuticle area, which is where her natural nail is exposed. We don't really need any on the rest of the nail because the acrylic is going to attach to the acrylic very well on its own. Now for our fill, we're going to be going in with the clear acrylic from Not Polish. Along with that, I'm using their brush in a size 12. And then for my monomer, I am using the Kiara Sky monomer. It is a really good monomer, so if you guys are looking for a really good one that's compatible with every single brand that you can think of, definitely highly recommend that one. If you guys missed my video where I am trying out their nail monomer enhancer, I basically let you guys know all my thoughts on that, but I also show you guys how good the Kiara Sky monomer works with all of the other acrylics that I used in that video. So make sure you guys check that out if you guys are interested. But I'm just going to be taking a medium-sized bead of acrylic and applying that basically where the growth of the acrylic is. And then I'm going to be pushing it upwards while holding the finger in a downward position. And then I'm quickly trying to mold it around her cuticle area. And I'm doing this very, very fast because I don't want the acrylic to set, but I also don't want it to overflow in any area. Like I've mentioned, I'm trying to avoid her cuticles at all cost, and so I'm trying to make it really, really quick and very easy type of acrylic fill where I don't have to do any cleanup. So that pretty much just means working very carefully. I'm going to be working with a more of a dry bead than I typically would, so if that means I have to drain some of the liquid out, I will go ahead and do that, just so that the speed of the acrylic dries a little bit quicker. And that way I could just put it on there, push it up, pull it down, blend it out, and we're good to go. Now, when you are doing an acrylic fill, sometimes you will have to rebalance that nail. So if you see me kind of going in with an extra bead and going in right underneath that bead that I just placed, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to rebalance the apex. I'm trying to even everything out. As the nail grows out, some nails can grow downward, some nails can just become very unproportionate. So I want to make sure that I'm building up that apex a little bit higher as I'm refilling the nail as well. Now, once the acrylic is fully done and dried, I'm going to go in with my e-file once again, and I'm going in with my speed at 12,000 RPMs, and I'm actually using my 5-in-1 bit for this. It is my favorite bit for finish filing. I am using a fine grit on this one, and I'm just going around that cuticle area and sealing that acrylic. You want to make sure that the acrylic is nice and flush to the natural nail. This is going to help prevent any lifting. You do not want it to be super thick in that area. And then once I'm done with that, I'm actually going to be going in and filing the rest of the nail with my hand file. I've been obsessed with hand filing nails. It's just so satisfying. You can do it very quickly and the finish is just super, super smooth, and you don't have to worry about any ridges or anything like that being caused by unstable e-filing. If you guys know, you know, I've definitely experienced that. So I just prefer to go in with my hand file because it's done very, very quickly. So I'm going in on the sides, filing the nails into the very, very sharp shape that we love. And then very quickly just going on top of the surface of the nail. Now, while you are doing this, you are applying more pressure than you would with your e-file. So I always recommend try to hold the finger very, very sturdy, and you can kind of see me move around. So if I'm filing on the right side, I hold it with my thumb on the left side. And if I'm filing on the left side, I hold the other side of the nail with the right part of my hand. If that makes sense, I'm sure you guys can kind of see while I'm doing it as well. I always try to apply pressure on the opposite side that I'm filing, if that kind of makes sense. So if I'm wiggling it downwards, I'm going to use my hand to push the nail upwards. So pretty much self-explanatory. You will notice it when you are hand filing yourself. So make sure you guys try it out before you guys go in and do it on clients so that you do not cause any type of discomfort. I'm going in with my sponge buffer from Profiles Backstage. This is one of my go-to buffers. If you guys are looking for a good buffer, definitely recommend this one. It's going to smooth everything out super smooth, so that when you go in with your nail art, everything lays and just goes on there very easily. Now we're going to be going in with our gel paint. We're starting off with the neon green from the frosting gel paints from Profiles Backstage. I'm going to be using my 3D nail art brush because it's a little bit thicker but also very slim, if that makes sense. It has more bristles, so it gets a lot more product, and I'm able to cover a lot more surface with this brush. And because I know that I have to kind of lather it on there, that's why I'm using this brush. It just makes my life a little bit easier. We're going to be going in with that neon green on all of the nails on the left side of it. And then we're going to be adding black on the opposite side, and then we're going to be blending it together. We're going to be doing that optical illusion type of nail art that has been trending a lot. I've actually already done a video on my channel doing that trend, but she did request this type of nail art, so I was all for it. The color combo is super cute, and it gives me like really Halloween type of vibes for whatever reason, so I was like, yes, we're doing this. I'm trying to kind of lather it on there so that it's nice and opaque and I don't have to do 2 layers of it. I do not like layering on a ton of gel paint, but if you feel like for your liking you want it to be more opaque, by all means go in with a second layer. I just prefer to try to get it all in one coat. I do not like the fact that if you add a little bit more on there, it might chip. I don't know, that's kind of how my brain works. So we're just going to be doing a thin layer of that on all of the left side, and then I'm also going to be using the gel paint in the color black from the frosting gel paints as well on the right side. So now we're going in with the black color, and I'm actually allowing myself to have a little bit of space in between both colors so that I'm able to easily blend those together. It was just kind of my thought process when I was doing it. So I figured I would go ahead and kind of let you guys know why I'm doing that. So if I add a little bit too much in the middle of one color or the other, I felt like it wasn't going to blend properly, or one color was going to be overlapping way too much on the other side. I don't know, it was kind of just what I thought. So we are kind of leaving a little bit of a negative space down the center for error. So just in case, I do not trust my abilities of doing this, even though I've already done this set before. I would figure I would go ahead and do that, play it safe. Now, because black is so overpowering, especially against that neon green, I'm actually going to be taking the neon green and we're going to be trying to overlap it on the black portion. And honestly, do not overthink it. Just go in and blend it up a little bit, and it goes on there very easily. As long as you're not grabbing too much black, it is pretty much straightforward. You can kind of tell that I was able to blend that out very easily. Now I'm just adding a little bit more green to kind of deepen up that neon green portion. But you pretty much just kind of go over it. Try not to get a lot of black on the lighter color side. and you should be good to go. I'm going to be going ahead and repeating that process on all of the nails so you guys can kind of see that process throughout. Now, once you're done with this first layer of gel paint, you want to make sure you cure this in the light. I went ahead and placed it in there for a full minute. I like to do the 90-second option on the Kiara Sky LED light, so make sure you guys are fully curing it before you go in with the second layer. Now we're going to be doing the flames for the second layer. It's pretty much going to be the Optical illusion just in flame shape. So we're starting off with the outline. It's a little bit tricky. I'm not even gonna lie. I was completely intimidated by doing these flames and blending them together. But once I got to it, it honestly wasn't even bad. So we're gonna be starting off with whatever side you want, but I'm gonna be doing one side of the flame, kind of connecting it right there in the center, stopping with that color. And then we're going to be doing that on all of the nails. And then we're going to be doing the green on the other side and pretty much doing the same process by blending it together. So we're going to be starting off with the long flame, tiny little flame on the side, and then kind of just infilling the rest of that. Once you get the gist of it, it is super easy and you will not struggle. It just, do not let the thought of it get in the way of you actually getting it done. I feel like I was completely terrified and I overthought every single flame, but once I was like, you know what, I've done this a million times, we are fine. So I went ahead and just knocked it out and it was super easy. So we're going to be infilling that again. And then near the center part, I do kind of curve it in also to create that flame connecting into the green. We're going to be going in with the other side and pretty much just did the same thing. So once you have one side done, you basically just mirror it with the other color and do the exact same type of design, just in the other color of your choice. And same thing, we're going to be infilling it and then doing the tiny little flame going upwards as well. Or I guess I should say going downwards. Now, I figured I would try to make my life a little bit easier while blending this because the flame is so tiny and it can be a little bit more hard to achieve that blend. I actually took some of the green color and some of the black on my little palette that I have there, and I mixed the two together to get that middle color that you see on the bottom portion of the nail art. So I'm pretty much just mixing that color together and then painting that onto that middle section, and it all pretty much just looks like an ombre. So just a little hack, if you guys are struggling, try to do that and it should help a ton. I feel like this was the part that was scaring me the most because the flame is so tiny. And to blend it together, I felt like it was just going to be so hard without messing it up. But I'm taking that same nail art brush that I used to draw the flames on there, grabbing that middle color and just blending it together that way. And it worked out. It came out really, really good. I was honestly surprised. So now I'm just taking a gel brush and I'm going to be cleaning any little mess ups that I did. And I do have a little bit of Young Nail Swipe on my brush, the smallest amount. I do not want it dripping. I have the smallest amount on my brush just to clean up that area. I went ahead and placed it in the light for another 60 seconds. Make sure you are fully curing it. These are very thick gel paints, so you want to make sure every single layer is fully cured. Once we're out of the light, I'm going to be top coating with a not polished gloss it. We're going to be doing shiny for her nails. I am lathering it on there, making sure that I am fully coating it. The cool thing about any top coat is that once you lay it on there, it kind of just blends everything very well together. So even if you're doubting your abilities, once you add the top coat, it just looks so good and it just blends everything, blurs everything out, and brings the design very nice together and super clean looking. I'm going to be going in with a full cure of 2 rounds of the 60 seconds. I prefer to leave it in there way longer so that every single layer of the gel paint and gel polish is fully cured. Now I'm adding cuticle oil to her cuticles. This is my signature cuticle oil with Profiles Backstage. It is called Sweet V, so make sure you guys check it out. And don't forget to use my discount code for any of the products mentioned in today's video. But that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton. And I'll see you guys next time.